right. It's Friday, May 28th. The 26th of May came and went. The lunar eclipse, no big, huge earthquake. But, what's kind of resonating out there is us versus them. There's us, and then there's them over there. But it's the great divide. The saying is, united we stand, divided we fall. Well, if divided we fall, then you're part of the fallen. Lucifer is fallen, the fallen angels. But, the nefarious dark side of life right now, the mark of the beast, the beast rising in Revelations 13, they're doing everything they can to divide people because it's a method to control people. But, dividing us along racial lines, you're racist and they're racist, us, we're not, we're being divided, by religious, lines, economic lines, but the most insidious, it seems, and, I don't know why I always keep pointing over to this Steve Fletcher 222's channel, but he had a video by some dude that you never see, but he was talking about the vaccine, and I'll say the word vaccine, but he had I thought he had a Boston accent, but he was just basically saying, hey, it's Revelations 13, the mark of the beast, and I kind of agree with that, and I've already stated that weeks ago, but one thing he said is hey man, you gotta look at everything spiritually, not so much literally. And he was kind of upset at kind of like the mainline preachers. They weren't getting how serious the situation was, or what Satan is up to. Trying to literally put his mark on our DNA. But, what I'm going to say is, yeah, I agree with him. You have to keep it spiritual. And that's why, what I'm going to tell you is, if you're thinking carnally at all, and even in his video he was, because it's all about, DNA is carnal, man, because spiritually there's no DNA. And that's why, I've been talking about these two groups of people. One is a bloodline, which is all about DNA, which is the bloodline of Christ. And then, there's whatever other bloodlines, alien bloodlines, lizard bloodlines, the 13 royal bloodlines. But, bloodlines get you almost nothing, like family, they'd be the first to stab you in the back. But then there is the brotherhood, which has nothing to do with bloodlines. It's all inclusive. It's people who love their fellow human beings, man. And your family is those who love you, man. But, that's, the key to where we're at is, as they're trying to divide us, that we're hating on each other. The key is not to fall into that trap, man, and don't make it us and them, So it's kind of like with COVID and the vaccine, they want to have the people that wear masks and the people that don't wear masks. We wear masks, they don't. They want to have those that have COVID or have had COVID and those that have never had COVID. And of course, there are those that have been vaccinated and those that have not been vaccinated. And, the control is spreading throughout the world. They just showed Denmark legalized the COVID passport or whatever, and I think it's in Australia, and it's going to be everywhere, and it's going to be global, and it's kind of like a carnal manifestation of the mark of the beast. But I'm going to tell you, see, that cannot be the us and the them, man, where it's we've been vaccinated, they haven't, they're the enemy, because the people that haven't been vaccinated, they kind of look at people that have had COVID like they're the zombies, they're the mutants. But you know what? Two things. one, on a carnal thing, there could be nefarious stuff. Like Hitler was doing all sorts of weird, crazy stuff, and he killed 6 million people, which is not good. But like the mark of the beast, hey, sure, it could be a vaccine injected into you. It could be a tattoo put on your arm or your forehead. All that is carnal. And what I'm going to tell you is, on a carnal level, there's nothing God can't do. Nothing. Satan, even though he does a lot of stuff, he does everything carnally and does a lot of stuff spiritually too. But there's nothing carnally that God can't overcome Satan with, So that's the good news. And so, like, the concept that, hey, if you've been vaccinated, it's too late for you, like you now belong to the devil. No, that ain't true, man. Like, God can rectify that. But spiritually, if you have received the mark of the beast, and that means in your mind, your heart, and your soul, you don't give a shit about God or following God, and you're all in on the government's the greatest thing since sliced white bread, and the government will provide everything, and that's why I totally trust this unproven vaccine that didn't go through any kind of normal testing, then there is some truth to spiritually taking the mark in your forehead or your right arm, because it's more the mark on your head is what you think, and your right hand is what you manifest, the fruits you manifest. So if you get vaccinated and you start viewing people that haven't been vaccinated as them or the enemy, then you're following a dark path. And likewise, people that haven't been vaccinated, if you're hating on people who have been vaccinated or telling them that they're lost souls or that there's no turning back or no hope for them, then you're a hater too, man, because that's not how it works, man. That even if their DNA is somehow being manipulated, God can reverse anything, man, on a carnal level. So the real key here is spiritually, where do you stand, man? Are you walking with God? Do you love God? Are you talking to God? Are you praying to God? Are you totally trusting in God? Or are you saying there is no God, or you don't, even if there is, you don't give a shit about him, and the government's got your back covered, man? And I'm not saying the government can't do some things, man, but the government cannot be your God, and the government can't take away all freedom of thought and freedom of your hand, doing things, through regulations and whatever, and become this totalitarian system where we're just zombie robot slaves. That ain't gonna happen either, man. So anyway, a lot of positive stuff happening. Much love, and I'll catch you later.